When your mind gets merged in the Atman, this Nama Rupa business stops. What are projections? Nama and Rupas. If Nama Rupa stop in the mind becomes blank screen like Brahman. No more projections. So the whole effort of Adhyatma is to calm the mind down. Then next example is giving how this one has become many, how one screen only appears as many people, trees, mountains, rivers and everything. All this is on the screen. One example they give here is Agnir Yathaiko Bhuvanam Pravishto Rupam Pratirupo Babhuva Ekas Tatha Sarvabhutantaratma Rupam Pratirupo Bahischa. It says, just like when fire enters this space, world, Agni Atha Ekam, this fire is only one. Fire has two properties. One is light, another is heat. So this heat and light of the fire is only one. But when it enters the world or interacts with the objects of the world, it appears in different ways. Rupam Pratirupo Babhuva. It becomes different types. Like first fire we know is sun. It is heat and light. Another fire which we know at home is a candle light, a flame. It is also fire only. Forest fire is also fire only. Or anything else like a boiling water. In water there is no fire, but heat is there. So that is also fire only. Or the temperature of the body. Where is this? That is also fire only. All the stomach that digests the food, Vaishwanara, that is also fire only of one type. But heat is there, or acidity is there, which breaks down the food. And the food also becomes fire only in us. Why? Because it maintains the body temperature. So fire has the heat and light as a property, and the same fire appears in so many ways. Appears as sun, appears as forest fire, in a flame of the candle. Also, it's hidden like in wood. In wood also there is fire, but we can't see it. But if you rub the wood together, fire will come out. So fire takes so many forms and names in the world. Likewise, the same Atma, Ekas Tatha Sarvabhutantaratma. That's how only one Atma is there, which appears in all these forms. Sarvabhuta Antaratma. It is inside all the bhutas, means all the things made of elements. That Antaratma, within them is the same Atma. So you cannot say, no, my video screen is different from your video screen, is different from your video screen. That is Jivatma concept. Paramatma concept is one continuous screen on which there are 30-40 projections happening. So think of Mahanatma like that. There is one continuous infinite screen on which everybody's mind is projecting. So like that, the same fire, how it has become so many, in so many forms it takes. Likewise, the same Atman only is taking all the forms. The ant, the insect, the trees, the bees, the birds, the stones, the rivers, mountains, Panchabhutas, humans, all species. In all of them the same Atman only is there, is the idea. So they have explained it with the example of how fire becomes many. Though it is only one, in essence, light and heat, which is the property of the fire, is one. Its shape is different. Sometimes its color is different because of the fuel that it is being produced from. Like gas, cooking gas gives nice blue flame. Good combustion is happening. Some bad combustion is happening, a lot of soot will come. The fire flame will look very dirty. So all kinds of fuels are the reason for fire, to look different. Otherwise fire is the same, that is the idea. And also temperature is this fire only. Another example they are giving just to make it very clear. You can take all elements and do this example. Another example is being given is what? Vayur yathaiko bhuvanam pravishto rupam pratirupo babhuva ekas tatha sarvabhutantaratma rupam pratirupo bahischa. So it says the similar example of how fire becomes many, the same air is there in the world also. That this air is present in everything, including your own breath. And the same self is in the same way assuming all the forms and expecting, and it is inside, outside and everywhere of it. Bahischa means outside that also, inside that also. Like air, you see, cyclone comes. What is there actually? Air only which has become a cyclone because the pressures in the ocean. You know, the hot air rises and whatever it creates this kind of a cyclone. It is air only. Think of a dust storm. when it raises all the dust. So those dust storms are also what? Air only in one form when it is moving very heavily. In the ocean when it moves, it is cyclone. On the earth when it moves, it calls a storm or a tornado when this pressure builds. So that is also nothing but air only. And what else is air? Breeze, when it is soft and nicely flowing, it's called a cool, nice breeze. And when you breathe in and out, what is that? That is also air only. But it is coming from within, you think. Or when you blow into balloons or bubbles. What is happening? Same air, you've taken the air from outside, breathed in, now you're blowing it into bubbles or balloons. And the air is taking so many shapes. So shapes are different and functions are different, but air is one and the same. In the ocean it raises a cyclone, brings rains. In a dust storm it raises the dust, breaks things down. In breeze it nicely flows and cools the atmosphere. In breath it keeps us alive. In bubbles it makes shapes. In balloons it makes shapes. But all these things is one air only, which has taken many forms. In the same way, there is only one Atman, which is there in all, but looks different. Looks like a man, woman, old man, young man, ant, bird, beast. All this is one Atman only, Sarva Bhutantaratma. And Rupam, different forms. And Pratirupa, all are its own reflections, not different from it. Bahishcha, externally it appears to be different. Internally, if you go and observe carefully, everything is one and the same. It means what? It is all pervasive, within, without and everywhere else. It is Atman and Atman alone and nothing else. With this idea we must look at the world, is what it is saying. So when you see anything in the world, remember, this breeze blows, this is Atman. This is the sun or the heat, Atman. Everything in every small aspect of life, try to see the hand of God, hand of Brahman. This is the idea. One more example is given. Suryo yatha sarvalokasya chakshuh na lipyate chakshurshai bahya doshe ekas tatha sarvabhutantaratma na lipyate loka dukkhena bahyah. Same example, Suryo yatha, like the sun. There is only one sun. The light, original light is coming from where? From our sun only. Now that light, you will say, now my light comes from my torch light. How did the torch light come into existence? Somebody created the torch. Somebody created the bulb and the battery. Now how did this man live? Because he ate food. How did this food come to him? Anta sun by the end. So there is only one sun. That sun is considered as the eye. You know, Chakshur Suyo Ajayata from the Virata Purusha. Hiranyagarbha's eyes opened, sun came out. And then the sun went and settled down in the eyes of the Virata. It means eye and sun are like same. That's why the sun is like the eye of the world, they're saying. Why? Because through sun's light only we see everything. Like we see everything through our eyes, sun is the eye of the whole world. Because in the light of the sun alone, we see everything. But na lipyate chakshushair bahya doshe. But if there is a problem with our eye, does the things that we see get affected by it? No. Like that, this drishti, vision, is not affected by the aperture called an eye, it is saying. See, drishti is a subtle faculty. Eye is the instrument through which we see, that drishti expresses itself. Similarly, like sun's light falls on a beautiful temple, a Shivalingam, let us say. Does that sun's light become pure? Or if it falls on a garbage or some broken house, does it become any less important or holy? No. Sun's light remains pure only. Though with it only we see everything, by itself it is not touched and tainted. Similarly with the vision which is there in our vision, vision is different from the eye. Remember, one is indriya, one is indriya artha. The faculty of vision is different from the eye, that's what I mean to say. So it is the faculty of vision through which we see. Eyes may see things differently, but does it affect the faculty of vision? Does the vision, suppose I see a red thing, will my eye and the vision become red? Or now I see, will I become red, green or blue or grey? No, it does not. It only experiences the world, passes on to the mind. The impressions are collected in the mind. Eye is not becoming red, green, blue. Like that, sun's light is not becoming dirty, pure. In the same way, this Atman which is there, Ekas Tatha Sarva Bhutantaratma, this one Atma which is there in all of them, na lipyate. It is not tainted, not touched, not bound by loka dukkhena bahya. All the sorrows that are happening externally, they don't make the Atman sorrowful. Dukkha means sukha also you should understand as the corollary to that. That if dukkha is not touching the Atman, sukha also does not touch the Atman. So where it is happening, all this is happening in your mind, collection in the mind. This is garbage, dirty mind. Sun did not think it is a garbage, I should not shine on it. Your eyes did not get dirty by seeing the garbage. Or your eyes did not become holy by seeing some holy thing. Or sun did not become holy by shining on a holy person. It remained the same. Likewise, that one Atman which is there in all. So you will say in a papi also that Atman is there, in Punyatma also that Atman is there. In a sad and a dejected person, the same Atman is there. In a happy and a very successful person also, the same Atman is there. So is Atman becoming successful and happy? Is Atman becoming dejected and sorrowful? Is Atman becoming holy or unholy? No. In all of them it remains untouched. That is the idea that they are explaining to us. Your Atman is pure, Nitya Shuddha, Buddha Mukta, Nirmala Swarupinam. That is untainted, Niranjana, Nirguna, Sanatana, Niketana. This is not touched by any of these things. Now think for once, if I believe that I am the Atman, all your depressions, all your dejections, all these ideas of sorrows, I am useless, I am good for nothing, and they are also good for nothing, all these impressions will disappear. Because we don't believe we are Atman and everybody is Atman, so we only see the mind of the person. You are not one but three. What you think you are, the body which with you identify yourself. What others think you are, not the body but the mind. Good, bad, kind, harsh, helpful, very dangerous. All these are impressions of the mind, which others only see your mind. And who you really are? Atman, which is untouched by the mind, untouched by the body. When body grows old, body becomes sick. Atman does not grow old and become sick. When mind becomes happy or becomes sad, Atman does not become happy or sad. Atman remains pure always. And that is your true nature. If you establish yourself firmly in this one thought, that Atman is your true nature, what will happen? Let mind come and go. Let body come and go. It won't affect you. So whether you are growing old or young or you are middle-aged, doesn't matter. Atman is same. Today is a happy day, everybody is greeting me and saying good things about me. Tomorrow everybody is blaming me for something which went wrong. Atman is not affected. So you can quickly withdraw yourself into the Atma Bhava and be peace. That is why Ashtavakra says, Yadi deham pratakritva. If you can distance yourself from the body, that is what I think I am, but I am not that. And chiti vishramya tishtati, and mind is put to rest. Why? Others think I am mind, I am not mind. So body has been distanced, what I think I am. Mind has been distanced, what others think I am. And what happens? Adunaiva sukhi shanto. What is left of you? The true yourself. Immediately you will gain peace. Adunaiva, immediate peace. Sukhi shanto. Immediately you will experience peace and that comfort, which comes from the Atman. And what happens next? Bandha mukto bhavishyasi. And this bondage of this mind and body, which you are always getting stuck. See, in meditation we are able to do that. Shift the mind, shift the body little far and think I am the Atman. But the moment we open the eyes and interact with the world, the body, mind, everything comes and settles back on you. And then again you interact to the mind and the body and get confused. So it says whenever this is a situation, distance your body, distance your mind for a while. Then what happens? Immediate peace will come. And keep practicing that every day. Eventually, this is how you will live. You will see everything at a distance from yourself. Your emotions at a distance, your body at a distance from your own self. Then what will happen? Bandha mukto bhavishyasi. You will become free from this bondage forever. But right now it is not happening. It's happening when we are in meditation, when we are practicing some mind control. At that point of time, for a few moments here and there, we are able to experience the peace. But that is our true nature. If we keep on practicing this, a day will come. A day has to come in everybody's life. If they keep practicing, where you will easily be able to distinguish, these are the things to do with the body, these are the things to do with the mind. I am not affected by either. Otherwise, how these great souls, you look at them. Nisargadatta Maharaj, I am the cancer. Look at that statement. Look at the power of that statement. Forget, he is not even saying cancer is to my body. I am different from that. He is saying, I am there in the cancer also. Because Ekatma Sarva Bhutantar Atma. He is gone one level above. We are only discussing, let us distance ourselves and be safe. He is saying, what is there to distance? Everything is Atman, I will accept as it comes. Look at the level at which is. Somebody, how are you? I am fine. But we heard you were sick last night. Oh, you are talking about the body. Body is not fine. I am fine. That is one level. And Nisargadatta Maharaj, what cancer? I am the cancer. What are you talking? Another level this is. This kind of yogis have lived on this earth. They walked this earth. And therefore it's possible for everybody to be like that. Why? Because they have set an example. Yadeda charati shrestha tatad devetaro jana. The way great people conduct themselves, the other people also get an example and follow. Sayat pramanam kurute, the kind of ideals they set. Lokas tadanu vartate. Everybody else in the society also follows them. So they are the heroes. Unfortunately, the whole generation has been given a new definition of heroes. Who are those heroes? All those who can throw their hands and legs at the beat of the song, come up with new hairstyles, new way makeup and get up, and act like a hero. Now these biopics are becoming a big hit now. Earlier people were having imaginary stories. Now biopics are a big hit. So he is not a hero actually. The hero in real life is somebody else. This fellow acts like him and people become this fellow's fan and then forget that fellow. Look at that. Look at our hero worship and heroine worship business. So we all need examples in life to follow. That's how mind is. It always needs some example, some reference, something to look up to. That's when mind rises. If otherwise, mind will go down. So give good examples or bad examples. That depends on our education, our systems, our societies. We are putting wrong examples in front of children. What do children know? Whatever we show, they believe in that. But if we set right examples of people who are jnanis, who have lived their life with courage, conviction, fearlessness, awareness, if at all I have to pray, look at Shankaracharya, look at Vivekananda, look at these great gurus and masters. Let us set examples of people who are truly hero in their real life, daring, courageous, to take on the world as it comes and not get affected. So let us think of those examples and teach those examples to our children. By meditating on these higher truths and higher heroes, it's possible for you to break free. But always remember, the mind's only tendency is always to go down like gravity. The moment you let loose of the mind, it will immediately flow down. I compare it with rolling a stone up the hill. When you're rolling up the hill, so tough. Leave it for a second. Stop putting the effort for a second. See what happens? The whole stone will go down in no time. Mind's nature is like that. You have to keep the mind against gravity, you have to keep pushing it up. The moment you leave the mind, oh, I have understood everything, I have practiced master the mind 30 days, I have heard Upanishad, now I am fine, I have gained it. You see how the mind will trick you? 3 days it will behave very well, as if you have really conquered it. 4th day onwards it will start. Shoelace. When you are running and running and running, what happens? Shoelace becomes loose. Then what do? You get down, stop running for a moment, tie the shoelace again and then run. Suppose you don't tie it. Then the shoelace will come into your step and you will wobble, fall and break your nose. Mind is like that. It has to continuously have to check if the shoelace has come off or it is still tight. Continuously you have to check. The moment you become complacent, that is the end. Mind will take over. So even after all these Vidya Shivira, all these things, you should continue the practices within your own selves. This is just to give you an idea how to do these practices. Now the 2 secrets are being revealed of eternal happiness in the next 2 shlokas. Who can be permanently happy? Who can be permanently peaceful? Everybody wants happiness and peace. Who wants to be restless and sad? So here are the 2 shlokas. Eko vashi sarvabhutantaratma ekam rupam bahudhaya karoti tamatmastham yen anupashyanti dhira tesham sukham shashvatam netaresham. Very, very powerful declaration. It says, Shashvatam Sukham, permanent happiness is for them and netaresham, and not for anyone else. Others may get temporary small pleasures. Permanent, continuous, eternal, infinite happiness is only for these people and not for anybody else. Who are these people? Who realize Eko Vashi Sarva Bhutataratma. There is only one Lord. Vashi means under whose control everything is. There is only one, that Atman, under whose control all the beings are. And that is only Sarva Bhutantaratma. It is there in all the beings, the same Atman, and controls everything because of its own nature. And Ekam Rupam Bahudha Yat Karoti. And one Rupa is there, it has only one name or one form. But Bahudha, it looks like many. So if you see the many and get fooled. No, all these are different. Boy is different from girl, is different from old man, young man, rich, poor, unholy, holy. You get confused. But if you see the truth deep down, electricity alone is flowing through all the bulbs. Eko Vashi. All the bulbs are controlled by whom? The electricity. The light is electricity. So like that electricity alone is there in everything, like that there is only one Atman in all the beings, but different forms it appears in. Like we have example of fire and the air, we just now saw the example, or even the sun's example. So, tam atmastham, yen anupashyanti dhira. The one who sees dhira, dhira is, we have heard that definition, the discriminating fellow, the sukshma buddhi fellow, agreya buddhi fellow. What he does, he sees it within himself, atmastham. Where is it? Is it within me? The same thing which is in all, it's actually within me only. Tam atmastham yen anupashyanti. Anupashyanti means experiences, visualizes. Not physically sees with the eyes, but the eye of the jnana chakshu. That chakshu here experiences the presence of the Atman within as it is in all. To him alone, tesham, to those people alone, sukham shashvatam netaresham. Permanent happiness is possible. All others will be running behind happiness, they will never get happiness. They will be chasing mirages in the world. The only person who gets that happiness is who realizes that is within me, that is within all the beings, it is one. Which is the Isha, which is the Vashi, controls everything. It decides who is born at what time. It decides how long who will live and when to leave the body and go away and when should one die. Everything it controls. That is the power of that thing which is my true self, which is what my Atman is. It's in all, and if I visualize, it means if I realize it within myself, this theory knowledge is of no use. Reading the menu card is no use. Eating the food is of use, even if little. Likewise, the one who realizes it within himself, theirs is the permanent happiness. It's not given to anybody else. So all these nahi dhruvam adhruvaihi, from these temporary things, permanent cannot be obtained, our Yamaraj said. So everybody else thought, I'll become happier if I get a bigger car. Or I'll become happier if I buy a bigger house in the most poshest location. Or I'll become happier if I can go on a foreign trip. I'll become happier if I marry and have two boy children. If I start my own business, I'll be happier. They can go on chasing these shadows and mirages. What they call as happiness is pleasure. That's why somebody says, the end of all joy is sorrow. And I call it, a pleasure is an interval between two pains. That is the nature of the world. So whose is the permanent happiness? Tesham sukham shashvatim. Permanent happiness is only for those who have realized that Atman within is the Atman without. Everything is but the Atman. The one who has realized, they alone can be permanently happy. All the others will be unhappy only. The next one is there, Nityo Anityanam, Chetanas Chetananam, Eko Bahunam, Yo Vidadhati Kaman, Tamatmastham, Yen Anupashyanti Dhira, Tesham Shanti Shashvati, Netaresham. The same thought is being expressed in this shloka where it says, whose is the permanent peace? I want peace, I want peace. Whose is the permanent peace? They say, there is nothing greater than peace. Nasti Shanti Samam Sukham. There is no Sukha equivalent to Shanti. Somebody may have lot of money, lot of wealth, may have cozy, comfy beds and a palatial house, but don't sleep at all. They're suffering. Why? Because mind is not at peace. Somebody might have everything in life. What we think will give us peace and happiness. After having all these things, they are neither peaceful nor happy, all the time struggling. That's why God is said, I have two things that are my property. Only I can give it to others. Others cannot buy it on their own. It's not available in the market. One is peace, another is happiness, which is what these two are saying. Anybody cannot buy it. They have to take it from God only. It means when they become God only, realize God, only these two are possible, happiness and peace in life. Happiness from the world is not possible. Peace in the world is not possible. Both are God's property. So if you want to buy something, suppose you want to buy a packet of sugar, where should you go? Not to the medicine shop, not to the shoe store, not to the textile shop. You will go to the kirana shop and ask him, I want to buy a kg of sugar. Likewise, when you want happiness and peace, don't go to the world. In world it is not there. That's why he says, Anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajasvamam. Ime prapya means having got this, remember me now that you have already entered this world. That's why koham he starts. Oh my God, I landed up again in the same place. This is Anityam asukham lokam. I have had many experiences. They say up to 40 days the child remembers the past. So, ime prapya, I have got it now, I've got into this, now what should I do? Bhajasvamam. Remember me, that's the only way to be happy in this world. Otherwise, me means remember that you are Atman. That is your true self. Remember that and deal with the world like a drama, like a play, like a game, and don't get too involved and stuck in this. Then you will be happy. So that is what he's saying, Shanti is for them who nityo anityanam, who see the permanent in the impermanent. Body is impermanent, mind is impermanent. All that we see here, taste, smell, touch are impermanent. I am permanent in them like the Atman. Screen is permanent, pictures are impermanent. The one who realizes that, then Chetanas Chetananam, in all that are aware. What is the awareness? Everybody is aware. An ant is aware, it is moving. A bird is aware, an animal is aware, humans are aware. A sinner is also aware, saint is also aware. What is this awareness in all those which are aware? That awareness is you. That permanence is you. The awareness, the consciousness is you. So all that, then what it does? Eko bahunam. In one only it is, but appears in different ways. Why? Yo vidadhati kaman. It achieves various desires through various ways. That unless that permanent Atman is there, you will die. Can you be a teacher after that? Can you be a student after that? Can you be rich or poor after that? No. So Nitya is to be there in the Anitya to help the Anitya do all the things in the world. Chetana has to be there in the Chetana Nam. Awareness, consciousness has to be there in the conscious. Then only that person can read, write, do anything. If that consciousness called Paramatman, the awareness, Chitta, Satyam, Jnanam is not there, who can become a Jnani? How can you deal with the world? It's not possible. So that subtle point it is. That which is permanent in the impermanent, that which is the consciousness of the conscience, that which is one of the many and does what? Vidadhati kaman, helps us experience the results of all that we desire for. Suppose you want to become a teacher, I want to study. Atman has to be there to help you remain alive and study. Then once you study, you receive knowledge. Vidadhati kaman, who distributes the desires, as if it's distributing, it's the idea. It means if I want to do anything in my life, I cannot do it because I have a body. I can't do it because I have a mind. I can only do it because I have consciousness, awareness. See, the one concept is there. To know anything in the world, what are the three factors? Knowledge, known and knower. Jnanam, Gyayam, Jnata. All the three. So, an object depends on what? On the knowledge of it. I don't know what is this thing called. How do I know what it is? So knowledge of this is important. But knowledge is for whom? For the knower. A knower should know that knowledge of this piece of cloth is kerchief. It is not a shawl, it is not a blanket, it is not a bed sheet. This piece of cloth is called as kerchief. So kerchief is the piece of cloth. The knowledge that it's a piece of cloth and called kerchief is the knowledge, and I am the knower. But all three of them depend on what is the question. All three of them depend on awareness. Suppose this kerchief was lying here. I am not aware, I am not seen it. Will I get curious about what it is? Will I get curious to know what it is? Object is there, Knowledge of the object exists, knower also exists. But why am I not bothered about it? Because it is not been brought in my awareness circle. There may be 15 fellows in the class. One fellow will be doing something in some corner. If the teacher's awareness is not on that child, attention is not there, will the teacher know or worry about what that child is up to? The teacher is busy with something else. So unless I am aware, it is in my awareness, knower, knowing and the knowledge does not happen. It has to be in my awareness. Likewise, awareness that Chaitanyam in which everything exists, that's how we get to know about everything. So Jnanam, Geyam, Gyata, they all depend on the one faculty called awareness. It should be in my awareness, then only I know about things. If it is not in my awareness, like till now Upanishads were not in your awareness. Was Upanishad not there? They are there from thousands of years. If this knowledge is not new, you got to know of it today. It came into your awareness. Plus you are the knower, Upanishad is the object of knowledge, and the knowledge of Upanishad is that you are Brahman or whatever. But all these things came into light only when you became aware. So that is the idea, that awareness is the reason why we get to know of anything in the world. The knower, known and knowledge depend on a greater idea of awareness. Jagrata, Sushupta, Swapna depend on the greater idea of consciousness, Turiya. Without that, all these three we cannot experience. So that is this. This one helps us to do things in the world and achieve the results of our action. Vidadhati Kaman. Again, Tamatmastam. And the one who sees it where? Not in Kailasha, Vaikunta, Brahmaloka, not in temples, mosques. Within oneself, the one who realizes it, that dhira, for him is the permanent peace. Shanti Shashvatim Netaresham. Nobody else can be happy and peaceful in life forever unless they realize this truth that the same self which is within is in all. If they don't realize this, nothing happens. You don't realize anything in the world. In fact, this word here used is Chetan, Chetanaha, Chetananam. Those who are conscious, like moving ants, animals and other. In that, the consciousness is God. So, what about matter? Just now we said, in everything Brahman exists. Jada, Chaitana. We are only telling Chaitana. But then also the previous word is Nitya, Anityanam. Those who are impermanent, in that it is permanent. Everything is impermanent. Brahman is permanent. But truth is that the Chaitana Shakti is there in the Jada also. How can objects respond? They cannot have ear, mouth, eyes, ears to speak. But then there is a story that how consciousness is in everything. There was this Santa Gyaneshwar, also called Dhyaneshwar, of Alandi in Maharashtra. He lived between probably 1275 to 95, 96, 21 years old boy. See, all these great rishis are small age. And then he took samadhi on his own, Jiva Samadhi. There were 4 siblings. Their parents died early and 4 siblings were there. Sopan, Nivrutti and Muktabai. Muktabai was her sister, other 2 were his brothers, and he was Gyaneshwar himself. And he was a great Gyani by birth. And it so happened that his fame spread far and wide. Within 16 years of age, he was a Gyani and everybody used to come to him. And one particular person, a big yogi was there. His name was Changdev. And this fellow had done tapasya for 1400 years and defied death 42 times, it seems, in his life, by continuously extending his lifetime. Imagine 1400 years somebody is living. And he had a lot of arrogance about himself. So he heard about this young fellow who is becoming very popular. And he thought he has no siddhi, nothing, but then he is considered as a great yogi. Let me send out a letter to him that I am coming to meet him. But he doesn't know how to address him. So if I call Gyani, then I give him acknowledging that he is Gyani. If I don't write you are a Gyani, then maybe I am demeaning him. So he doesn't know what to write. He sends a blank paper to him. And this Gyaneshwar doesn't respond. His sister Muktabai takes the paper and responds. Your siddhi is as empty as your paper, and sends it back. And this fellow is, what is this? Small kids after all, they're talking to me, 1400-year-old I am. And then he says, let me go and show him my power. So he rides on a tiger and carries a serpent as his whip, with which he'll be whipping the tiger and moving. And poor serpent and tiger, imagine their plight. Anyway, he comes on tiger, the whole village, everybody, oh, this Gyani has come, Changdev. And he comes, and then what happens? Our Santa Gyaneshwar and his 3 brothers, sisters, all 4 of them sitting on a wall, it seems. A masonry wall, and chatting away like children do. And then they told, this person is coming. So Santa Gyaneshwar says, okay, let us go. But they say he's coming on a tiger. Then they think we don't have any vehicle. So he tells the wall, come on wall, let's move. And the wall starts moving, it seems. And on the wall he goes flying and meets this. This fellow gets a shock. Controlling a tiger is some siddhi. Making a jada, a wall made of stones to move, that needs some other level of siddhi. And he becomes very humble. But idea is that Chetanas Chetananam, we are saying, the consciousness in the conscious. But the truth is that even in the so-called unconscious, consciousness is there. Otherwise, how will the stone obey? Gyaneshwar, stone obeyed because stone can listen, can hear what Gyaneshwar is saying. That Atman is in everything, in Anu, Raniyan, Mahato Mahiyan, in the tiniest to the largest, that Atman alone is. And because of that reason, everything responds. When Govardhanagiri Krishna lifted, you think it's possible for a boy to lift? Govardhanagiri became light like cotton, it seems. He decided, oh, Krishna has touched me. The stones floated, it seems. How is it possible on earth? All this is possible because in everything, in everyone, in every aspect of this universe, Brahman alone is. How wonderful is this thought? So that is the idea. 14th shloka. Tad etad iti manyante anirdeshyam paramam sukham katham nu tad vijaniyam kimu bhati vibhati va. It's like a question being asked and answer being given. It's a poetry. So poetry is what? Tad etad iti. That one is this. Like you are saying, no, etad vai tat. So he's saying this one is that. So he's saying tad etad iti. This one is that you have told just now. Manyante, and people think about it how? It is anirdeshyam. We all believe now. We have heard from you and we know now that it is anirdeshyam, means it cannot be described. There are no parameters, there are no qualities to describe. And paramam sukham, it is the highest of the bliss. Not ordinary happiness which comes and goes. It is an permanent happiness we also have learnt. Katham tu tadvijaniya, how do I get to know it? Is the question. Kimu bhati vibhativa, how does it shine? Or it is illumined. How does it either illumine or is illumined by? What happens at that place? What is its nature? You say it's permanent happiness, highest happiness. All right, we have understood. And it cannot be described in words. Yato vacha nivartante aprapya manasasa. Adreshyam, agrahayam, all these things. I don't know how to do that. So he's asking, we are talking about such a wonderful thing. How do I get to know it? And what is its nature? How does it shine? Or is it illuminated or does it illumine? How does it reveal itself? That is the idea. Bhati means shining. Vibhati means reflecting. So shining or reflecting. Idea is, it is a way to say, how do I get to know of it? Because if I have to see something, it should reflect the light that is falling on it. Or it should shine on its own. Without the two conditions, I can't see a thing. A black hole cannot be seen because it doesn't reflect anything back. No vibhati. Or sun I can see because it is bhati. It shines on its own. Or moon I can see because it reflects the light of sun. Now tell me, how do I know this thing, Atman, that you are talking about? Does it shine on its own or is it reflected by something else? How is the way of its revelation? And the most poetic and beautiful shloka of KATHOPANISHAD comes here as an answer, as the 15th answer. Na tatra suryo bhati, na chandra tarakam, nema vidyuto bhanti, kutoyam agnihi, tameva bhantam, anubhati sarvam, tasya bhasa, sarvamidam vibhati. See how beautiful this shloka is. It says, so the previous question was, we understood all that you have told, that this one is that and is paramasukham and it is nature cannot be described. So how do I get to know of it? Does it shine on its own? Or it shines in somebody else's light? Does it reflect anything? So how does it reveal to me? So the answer to that is, actually in that place where it is, in your own heart, hridaya kashe, na suryo bhati, no sun is there to shine and reveal it. Na chandra tarakam, daylight is not there. What about night? If sun is not there, moon is also not there. And stars are also not there, in whose dim light at least I can get to see it. So it is not revealed by all this. Then can it be seen by vidyuta, the lightning? Sun is not there, moon is not there, star is not there. It's a dark, cloudy night. Can by flash of lightning it be revealed? No. By fire, can I light some fire and see? No. None of these exist there. In the physical world, how do we see things? If sun is shining, or in the night when moon is shining, even moon is not there, through the very dim light of stars we can see something. That is also not there. If a lightning flashes, vidyuta, can we see that? If that is also not there, can we see by lighting a fire, by matchstick or a torch or anything? No. Then how do we see it is the question. How does it reveal? And very beautifully they explain, tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. As it is shining, in its shine everything else is revealed. When it shines, in its light everything else is revealed. Tasya bhasa, the way it shines. Anubhat, sarvamidam vibhati. All this is also shining, reflecting the light of the same thing. So it's a philosophical statement. What does it mean? That one Atman, Tama, Eva, Bhantam, that alone shines on its own. One very physical example will be sun. Sun shines on his own. If I have to see sun, do I need to go with another light to see sun? Take a torch and show sun to somebody. It doesn't work. Sun shines on its own. And when sun shines only, everything else shines. It means everything else reflects and gets revealed. When sun rises only, the world gets revealed to us. On a dark night, nothing gets revealed. And as it shines, whatever the light of sun is, same is the light of our this thing. Sometimes when on certain evenings when sunlight is reddish, we see everything as reddish. Means because of the atmosphere. Everything looks yellowish, reddish. And in the midday sun, everything looks bright white. So as it shines, everything else shines is the idea. The Atma alone shines. It is fully aware of what it is. It doesn't need anything to be aware of it. You can't make it aware by some other agent, by your mind or senses or any perception. This Atma cannot be revealed. When does it reveal? It has to reveal itself. How? By its own nature. It is jnanam, it is consciousness. So don't think there is some bulb glowing inside now. Idea of this Jyoti is the consciousness. When he says Angushta Matra Purusha Madhya Atmani Tishtati, it is not that, and Jyoti Adhumakaha, no smoke, the fire alone is. It is not that there is real fire. Idea is that everything that we see in the world is because of light. If light falls on something, we see. Likewise, Atman when shines, everything is revealed. The mind is revealed, what we are thinking, what we are experiencing. The mind is revealed because Atman shines. The body is revealed, hands, eyes, ears, nose, Indriyas are revealed. Indriya arthas are revealed only because of Atman that is shining within. And two important points to notice, Tameva Bhantam Anubhati Sarvam. As it shines, only everything else starts shining. If Atman goes out of, or Atman stops shining in you in the sense, you are dead and then body is not reflecting that back, then nothing you experience in this world. And Tasya Bhasa, as it shines alone, everything else shines. In a yellow light, everything looks yellow. In a green light, everything looks green. In a blue light, everything looks blue. Like that, in the Atman's light, everything looks like Atman only. So the one who has experienced the light of this Atman will see everything as Atman only. Only covers are different. But the light is same, they understand. Like sunlight is there, when passes through colored glass, appears to be colored. But what happens? The jnani who knows this is sunlight passing through the colored glass, immediately knows. No, this is not red, green, blue light. This is sunlight only which is coming. If bulbs are of many colors and electricity is flowing through that, people will think there is red light and blue light and green light and yellow light. But the jnani will say what? No, these lights are all perceptions. The electricity is colorless. Sun's light is colorless. Electricity is colorless. But when it appears in different bulbs, it looks different. And like that, when it passes through different colored glasses or a prism, sun's light splits and looks like many colors. But truth is what? Sun's light is colorless light. And therefore, this Atman has no attributes. It's colorless like that. But because Anirdeshyam is said in the beginning, there is no attributes, qualities, no definitions. Yet, in its light, everything is seen. Somebody looks rich, poor, ugly, beautiful, old, young, kind, harsh, good, bad, holy, sinful. All these are reflecting because of the mind which is filtering this light of Atman. But if you remove the light, where is the mind? Mind cannot be seen. Mind itself is using the light of Atman to do its work. That's why vidadhati kaman. It helps you to achieve whatever you want to achieve in life. How? Because electricity is working. So electricity goes through a mixer grinder, it mixes chutney. If it goes through a cooler, it gives you cool air. If it goes through the mic, it gives you sound. In all of them, who is there? Electricity is there. But is electricity sound? No. Is electricity wind? No. Is electricity light? No. Is electricity chutney? No. But all these are reflections, effects of the same electricity. In the same way that Atman, which is colorless, odorless, attributeless, pure, shuddha, shukram, that one, when it interacts with the mind, it appears different in different ways. That's all is the truth. So if you get fooled by the diversity in the world, it means you have not understood anything. You are ajnani. But if you have understood this truth behind the diversity, you have become a jnani, you have become a dhira, and you have realized it within yourself through your own personal experience that Atman alone exists and everything else is shining in its light only. Therefore, Atman is the truth, Satyam, Jagan, Mithya. All the other things are illusions, including the body and the mind. The one who realizes that, Tesham Sukham Shashwatim, Tesham Shanti Shashwati, Netaresham. For all others, this permanent peace and happiness is not possible. Because you have realized it, you will be always happy and peaceful. Whatever situation comes in life, whatever happens, world may call it good, bad, ugly. World may call it happy or sad things. World may call it fortune or misfortune. For you, who is dependent on the self and not on this tricky mind, will see everything as one. And that is how you can always be peaceful and happy. Iti Kathopanishadi Dvitiya Dhyaye Dvitiya Valli. This is the Kathopanishad second chapter's second Valli.